Have you ever loved someone deeply and still felt lonely standing right beside them? Have you ever shared a home with someone for years, slept beside them every night, eaten meals across the same table, and yet felt like there was a quiet, invisible wall between your hearts? It is a strange kind of pain, isn't it? Nothing dramatic has happened. No one has betrayed you. No one has raised their voice in anger. And yet, somewhere deep inside, you feel unseen. You feel unheard. You feel like the person standing in front of you has slowly become a stranger wearing a familiar face. Maybe you remember how it used to be. The long conversations that stretched past midnight. The way your eyes would meet and something would just understand. The comfort of being fully known by another soul. But somewhere along the way, between responsibilities and routines, between silence and small misunderstandings, that closeness quietly faded. And now you find yourself wondering, is this simply what happens to every relationship over time? Does love always fade into duty? Or is there something deeper we are missing, something we were never taught? If your heart has ever ached with this quiet loneliness, even while loving someone deeply, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because today, we are not going to talk about ordinary relationship advice. We are going to explore something far more timeless, far more healing. We are going to look at the secret of lasting love through the eyes of a man who understood the human heart and the human soul like very few ever have. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda. And what he taught about love may quietly, gently, change the way you see your relationship forever. Let us begin with a simple, honest question. Why do so many relationships, even ones built on real love, slowly lose their warmth over time? It is not because people stop loving each other. Most of the time, love is still there, quietly, underneath everything. But somewhere along the way, two people stop truly meeting each other, soul to soul, heart to heart. Let me tell you about a woman named Meera. In the early years of her marriage, she and her husband would talk for hours about their dreams, their fears, their hopes for the future. They would lie awake at night just talking, laughing, discovering each other again and again. But years passed. Life became busy. Responsibilities grew heavier. And slowly, without either of them noticing, their conversations became only about bills, chores, groceries, and schedules. One evening, while speaking to a close friend, Meera said something that broke her friend's heart. She said, quietly, "I am not unhappy. But I feel unseen." This is the hidden problem living silently inside so many relationships today. It is not hatred. It is not betrayal. It is something far more subtle, and in some ways, far more painful. It is a slow, quiet forgetting. We forget to see the person in front of us as a soul, as a whole universe of feelings and dreams. Instead, we begin to see them only as a role they play in our life. A husband. A wife. A provider. A caretaker. And when we stop seeing the soul, the relationship slowly turns into a routine. Paramahansa Yogananda gently reminds us of a timeless truth. He said that you cannot truly know another person until you first know yourself. And if we do not know the depths of our own heart, how can we ever hope to truly touch someone else's? Here is a deep truth that many people never realize in their entire lives. Very often, we fall in love with a feeling, not with a soul. In the beginning of any relationship, there is excitement. There is comfort. There is a magnetic attraction that makes us feel alive, seen, and special. And it feels wonderful. But real, lasting love is something far quieter than that first spark. It is something far steadier, far deeper, and far more enduring. Psychologically speaking, most relationships weaken not because love disappears, but because of unmet expectations that quietly build up over time. Without even realizing it, we begin expecting our partner to complete us. We expect them to heal our loneliness. We expect them to fill an emptiness that has lived inside us since long before we ever met them. But Paramahansa Yogananda taught something gently different, something that can change the way you see love forever. He said that no human being can ever fill the infinite hunger of your soul, because that hunger is, in truth, a longing for the divine itself. This does not mean that love is a mistake or that relationships are not meant to bring us joy. It simply means that we often place an impossible, heavy burden on human love. We ask one single person to give us a sense of wholeness that only inner peace, only spiritual connection, can truly provide. And when two incomplete people try desperately to complete each other, sooner or later, friction begins to grow between them. Spiritually speaking, most conflict in a relationship is not really about what was said in that moment. Most of the time, it is an inner disturbance, an old unhealed wound, quietly searching for an outer excuse to be expressed. Paramahansa Yogananda often spoke about how souls are drawn together not by mere accident, but by a deeper karmic connection, a bond formed to teach each other important lessons on this journey of life. Every relationship, no matter how simple or how complicated, carries within it a hidden purpose. Sometimes, we meet someone not only to be happy with them, but to grow through them, to be shaped and refined by loving them. And here is something truly worth reflecting on. The very things that annoy us most in our partner, their impatience, their insecurity, their need for control, are very often mirrors, gently, or sometimes not so gently, showing us the unhealed parts of our own heart. Let us think of a man who constantly feels disrespected by the tone his wife uses when she speaks to him. If he has the courage to look inward, honestly and without blame, he may discover an old wound from his childhood, perhaps a time when he never felt truly approved of, never felt good enough in someone's eyes. His partner is not creating this wound within him. She is simply revealing a wound that was already there, waiting quietly to be healed. This, in its truest sense, is karma. Not punishment. Not something to fear. But a gentle process of purification, giving us the exact experiences we need in order to grow into more whole, more awakened human beings. Paramahansa Yogananda beautifully said that environment is stronger than willpower, but the soul is stronger than both. This means that although our circumstances and relationships can deeply influence us, our soul always has the power to rise above old patterns, if we are willing to look within with honesty and courage. In truth, our relationships become one of life's greatest classrooms, quietly teaching the soul everything it came here to learn. How do we know when a relationship is quietly drifting apart, not on the surface, but deep within the soul? There are gentle signs, if only we pause long enough to notice them. Watch closely for these quiet signals. Conversations that once flowed freely now become only practical, limited to schedules, responsibilities, and daily tasks, with no real emotional or soulful depth remaining. Silence between two people begins to feel heavy and uncomfortable, instead of feeling peaceful and safe, the way it once did. Small irritations, things that would never have mattered before, slowly begin turning into bigger arguments, seemingly out of nowhere. You may notice that you feel more like yourself, more free and more at ease, when you are around your friends, than when you are sitting quietly with your own partner. Physical closeness may still remain in the relationship, but the emotional closeness, the feeling of truly being understood, slowly begins to fade into the background. Let me share with you the story of a couple, Raj and Anjali, married for 10 years. From the outside, everyone sees them as the perfect family. They smile in photographs, they attend gatherings together, they appear complete in every way. But at night, when the house grows quiet and the lights are turned off, Anjali often feels as though she is lying beside a stranger who simply happens to share her home. This experience is far more common than most people realize, and it does not mean that love has failed. It is simply a quiet sign that love has stopped being nurtured and has slowly, almost invisibly, turned into something that is only being maintained out of habit and routine. Recognizing these signs early, with honesty and compassion, is the very first step toward gently bringing the relationship back to life. Now comes the very heart of this message, the timeless wisdom Paramahansa Yogananda offered us for building a love that truly lasts. The first secret is this. Learn to love the soul, not just the personality. Personalities argue, personalities react, personalities get hurt over small things. But souls understand. So the next time conflict arises between you and your partner, pause for just a moment, take a breath, and silently ask yourself this question. What does their soul need right now? To feel heard, to feel safe, or simply to feel valued? This one shift in perspective can soften even the hardest arguments. The second secret is to meditate individually, even if only for a few quiet minutes each day. Yogananda taught that a peaceful relationship always begins with a peaceful self. When you sit in stillness, breathe deeply, or turn inward in prayer, your nervous system calms, your reactions soften, and you naturally bring more patience into your relationship. The third secret is to speak with kindness before you speak with truth. Truth without kindness can wound deeply, while kindness without truth can leave things unresolved. True wisdom lies in gently balancing both. The fourth secret is to serve one another, rather than simply expecting things from one another. It is often the smallest acts of love, a warm cup of tea made without being asked, a few minutes of patient, undivided listening, that rebuild connection far more powerfully than any grand gesture ever could. And the fifth secret, perhaps the most important one, is to forgive quickly. Yogananda once said that the season of failure is truly the best time for sowing the seeds of success. The very same truth applies beautifully to our relationships. After every conflict, there quietly arrives a new season, a fresh opportunity for deeper understanding, if only we are willing to choose forgiveness over pride. Here is the deepest secret Paramahansa Yogananda ever revealed about love that truly lasts a lifetime. True love is not something you go out into the world to find. True love is something you slowly, patiently, become. When you begin to cultivate peace within your own heart, when you nurture patience and a quiet, divine love inside yourself first, you naturally begin to bring healing into every single relationship you touch, without even trying. A relationship does not last simply because two people happen to be perfect for each other. It lasts because two people choose, again and again, day after day, to see the divine spark quietly glowing within one another, even on the most difficult and tiring days. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that human love, once it is gently purified through patience, understanding, and selfless care, slowly becomes a doorway leading us towards something far greater, a doorway toward divine love itself. Every patient word you choose to speak, every moment of quiet forgiveness you offer, every small act of selfless care you give without expecting anything in return, is truly, in its deepest sense, a spiritual practice quietly disguised as ordinary love. Your partner, in this beautiful journey called life, is not simply your companion walking beside you. They are also your teacher, gently showing you what still needs to heal within you. They are your mirror, honestly reflecting back the parts of yourself you may not always want to see. And if you allow it, with an open and humble heart, they become your very path toward a more awakened, more loving, more peaceful version of yourself. So let me leave you tonight with this soft, gentle question. Ask it quietly to your own heart, without rushing toward an answer. Am I trying to change my partner, or am I willing to grow myself, so that love can breathe freely between us once again? Sit with this question for a while. Let it settle slowly, like still water finding its own quiet depth. Sometimes, the answers we search for outside ourselves are already waiting patiently within our own hearts, simply asking to be heard. If tonight's message touched something gentle and true within you, I would love to hear from you. Please write a comment below and share what the secret of a long-lasting relationship means to you personally. Perhaps share a moment from your own life when you felt truly seen by someone, or a lesson your own relationships have quietly taught your soul. Your words may become a source of comfort and light for someone else watching this very video, feeling exactly what you once felt. And before you go, tell me gently in the comments, What topic would you like our next journey together to explore? Perhaps healing from heartbreak, understanding karma, finding inner peace, or awakening the soul through daily life. Your voice truly shapes the path of this channel, and I read every single comment with an open heart. If this message brought you even a little peace, please consider subscribing, so we may continue walking this gentle spiritual path together. And if someone in your life needs to hear these words today, share this message with them softly, like offering a quiet gift. Thank you for spending this sacred time with me today. May your heart find deep peace, and may your love find true depth. Jai Guru Dev.